Why did I say there's a need for men's content? Because of shit like this. I caught her cheating, gave her a second chance, caught her again, but now she wants to get married to prove her loyalty. Do I do it? You wouldn't even need to ask this question. You wouldn't even need to bother with a second chance, okay? Because if you had watched men's content, you would know better, right? This right here is women's mentality. One, she cheated the first time, you should have left already. She cheated the second time, you should have left. And then if you thought it was logical to think that how does her marrying you prove her loyalty to you? If you were a logical man, marriage proves a man's loyalty. Because why? Because of the fear of divorce, right? Women have no fear of divorce. In general, okay? In general, divorce doesn't hurt women as much as it hurts men, right? It doesn't. In general, divorce doesn't hurt women as much as it hurts men, okay? So it proves men's loyalty to marry a woman because he's putting up his assets, right? To prove his loyalty. Because if he cheats, if he is disloyal, she can then divorce him to take half of his shit. So it proves his loyalty. How does it prove her? How does marriage prove her loyalty? Because in most cases where assets are divided, it usually is divided for the woman, right? In most cases where alimony is, awarded, it's usually awarded to women, right? Family court, divorce court is geared towards women in most cases. So if you are smart, if you actually watch and listen to men's content, you would know better, right? You would know better. And things like this right here, that she could cheat on you twice and then try to fool you with marriage, is because you're an idiot. Because you're a weak man. Because you have no self-respect. You have no standards for yourself. You have no boundaries. Okay? You think so lowly of yourself that this is your desperation, Sean. This is the best you could get, so I would take whatever I can get. And I've been there. And I've done that, okay? I've been as weak as this, so I understand it. But this is why, right? It's the importance of men's content. Because no one supports other men. No one cares about other men. No woman's going to care about you, right? No woman's going to stand up for you, try to, be there for you and wake you up from this delusion. No, they don't care. They would support the woman, right? They would support the woman over a man that's being cheated. 100%. So, this is ridiculous, right? Men like this need to educate themselves, need to grow, need to improve, need to self-improve, need to work on themselves mentally, physically, financially. So he doesn't have to be desperate to become this stupid.